Hi and welcome to today's reading of the book Orgasmic Blueprint, Tools for Pleasure, Desire and Consent for Individuals, Couples and Intimacy Professionals. And we have arrived in chapter number 5, where it's all about professionals like practitioner and facilitator, how to use this dynamics of consent and touch in your profession. So today's reading is about the 3 components of pleasure for practitioner. So let's dive straight in. The 3 components of pleasure for practitioners. Between stimulus and response, there's a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. It's a quote from Viktor E. Frankl. Specifically, when working on sexual trauma healing, there's always the risk of an emotional attachment forming between the client and the practitioner, and this due to the meaning-making mechanism in the client's mind. It can occur when a story is attached to the stimuli and sensation experienced during the session. It can also happen when a client... I need to want to check my audio that's really running. It is, okay. It can also happen when a client's only previous experience and prior understanding of touch and sensation connects to the meaning. Now we are in relationship. We have to marry, have children, and stay together until death do us apart. It's a practitioner's responsibility to make sure that no attachment patterns occur. Of course, you cannot prevent this kind of thought from developing in a client's mind, though if it happens, I deal with it in a compassionate way, from a place of love and care at the apex. And that means confronting that whatever the client is feeling is fine to accept and not reject. At first glance, this approach might sound counterproductive, but is actually a portal to deep healing. During a workshop many years ago, and long before I was ready to be a practitioner, I met Bert Hellinger, the father of family constellation. And here I learned about one of the core wounds many female clients carry, which directly influence the projection of attachment to male practitioners. Hellinger shared that most women carry a deep core wound of avoided abuse that is difficult to deal with. And from early age, a girl's father is most often the first person to project sexual energy upon. Usually confused about how to deal with it, the father retreats from the kind of attention, withdrawing, closeness, and connection. And so the young girl often concludes that her sexual energy is wrong and not welcome. Hellinger spoke of 3 levels associated with this core wound. The first one, sexual misuse and abuse, creates a deep wound with lifelong scars. Second, sexual misuse and abuse creates the same wound but without obvious scars. The client can't remember that actually misuse or abuse took place, but feels a wound within through the withdrawal. And the third, an unconscious urge to heal the wound of avoided abuse, to feel welcomed and acknowledged instead of rejected or misused. Many women unconsciously look to heal their wound of avoided abuse, seeking acknowledgement of their sexual energy. When a practitioner takes advantage of this aspect of the core wound by having sex with a client, it can be devastating. It takes the power away from the client to heal by reinforcing the father-lover projection. It creates sexual followers instead of providing paths to empowerment. And this deep core wounding is another reason why a male practitioner can inhibit the healing of a love to sex projection client if they have a sexual encounter as a lover with them. With this theory in mind, Hellinger developed a method called sentences that heal, that are utilized whenever a female client projects this kind of attachment onto me as her practitioner, as a male practitioner. Sorry, that was the end of a sentence. Let's read that again. With this theory in mind, Hellinger developed a method called sentences that heal, that I utilize whenever a female client projects this kind of attachment to me as her practitioner. As a male practitioner, the healing dynamic of this early wound is a father figure who steps into their power and clearly expresses, Your feelings are welcome. You're beautiful. I see you and I am not available. Let's go in a little video in my benefit. I'm so excited to take a moment and share with you my de-armoring and sexual empowerment coaching certification. This program has been around for almost 10 years and is my highest offering. Sexual wellness is forecasted to be $125 billion by 2026. Why? Because Tantra is booming like yoga 20 years ago, and people are more ready than ever to express their sexuality, build deeply connected relationships, and have the most outrageous orgasms and erotic experience of their lives. However, most people are never taught how to do any of this, how to have extraordinary relationships and the sex that they really crave. They're looking for qualified, confident professionals to teach them. So my de-armoring and sexual empowerment coaching certification is a powerful one-year professional program that helps many coaches become incredibly successful and highly paid professionals. This program doesn't just train you in every aspect of the coaching process so that you can build a successful online business. This coaching also walks you through the personal transformation of a lifetime, because the best coaches have done their work themselves. And on top, I show you all the tech secrets how to create a thriving online business. But first and foremost, you'll discover transformative techniques like the empowerment tools, meditation practices, and pleasuring pathway that you'll apply to your own life first. Then you use all the same proven tools and techniques to get laser-focused results for your clients. We also hold an exclusive de-armoring training just for our coaching students and alumni every year. In this training, you'll experience a 10-day of live teaching with other teachers and me, refining your skills as a de-armoring and sexual empowerment coach. So, if you feel the call to claim your spot in this multi-billion-dollar industry and transform not only your own life, but the life of many others around the world, get on the waiting list now at somaticarrows.com/empowerment coaching, and I love to see you there and welcome you. Welcome back. So if you would like to get some questions answered and are interested in mentorship about how to become an empowerment practitioner, please follow that link in the description. I'm more than happy to have a enlightening chat with you and see what serves you best. All right, let's go back in. Beyond limitations of a false belief, especially within the Tantra and sexual bodywork scene, it's common for especially heterosexual male practitioner to approach women with the offer, I'm a yoni massage practitioner. I can sense your yoni needs some healing. I can provide this. It's not only implies that something is broken in the person they are talking to and that they need fixing, but that the practitioner's possibility hasn't fully understood their own intention. By offering the service in this way, they may come from the shadow of giving to get something, pretending to be or deluded about being at the apex and offering the service in order to get something in return. And this might be wanting to touch others intimately, whether for emotional, sexual, sensual, or financial reasons. And it could also be something more sinister, such as taking advantage of other people's sexual need or addictions by using a position of power for personal gratification, satisfaction, or status. So we can see shadow emerge through action when the direct root is not embodied. I fell into a similar trap in the past. I used to think that as a sexual body worker and de-armoring practitioner, I could heal my clients. Some came for pleasure coaching and others to deepen their sex life with their partners. My go-to method was to provide pleasure and orgasm. People referred friends to me, and I soon found myself in the position of an entertaining pleaser by fulfilling their expectations. I noticed they would come back for a top-up experience, becoming both dependent on me and even more disappointed with their partner. I felt the urge to share my observation, making this dynamic transparent, and to find a solution, to provide them with an empowered experience by guiding how to find their sensual access point so they could discover their pleasure for themselves, to break through into independent and autonomous action towards the pleasurable experience they wanted to have. So professional sessions between practitioners and clients always take place within the brother-sister realm, except it's a surrogate or an escort who has sex for money. That's a different thing. So when the level of brother-sister innocence crosses into the lover dynamic, it's not possible to go back. We can't undo what we have done. We can't unsex once we have gone there. So when you enter someone, you can't unenter them. And when you penetrate, you can't unpenetrate. There are, as already mentioned, very practical reasons why male practitioner cannot heal women through intercourse. And that's only my personal opinion. Apart from the obvious complication that can occur when not keeping a session professional, having intercourse introduces a completely different energetic component and connection within nullifies integrity as a professional. Even more concerning is the fact that once a woman's dorsal vagus parasympathetic state of immobilization and surrender is active, the working brain switches off. And this means that choices through permission and agreement cannot be given or made. And therefore, there is a very little value in asking a woman in high sexual arousal if they want to have intercourse or not. For this reason, there's a huge risk of re-traumatizing rather than healing. And this is why discussions about desires and limits are best made before any action begins. So when both are fully aware and operating within the social engagement system. So according to the principles of the Somatic Consent Engagement System, the main reason that the male practitioner cannot heal a client through intercourse is that he would lose his erection if he wasn't experiencing pleasure for himself. So when a male body wants to penetrate, it has to be led by desire. And if you're working as a practitioner while following your own desire, who's the session for? The session or the action would not necessarily only be for his client, but for himself too. So as a practitioner, it's important to be aware that due to past trauma, a high percentage of women project their sexual energy into men in order to feel valued, recognized, and connected. If this occurs and is taken advantage of, re-traumatization can occur, and it cannot be reversed. If a female client asks for or tries to initiate intercourse during a session instead of simply withdrawing, which can aid in heightening any connected trauma of sexual rejection, the male practitioner can acknowledge and voice their appreciation while pointing out that they have professional code of conduct with clear boundaries. It is essential that practitioners embody their own power and come from a place of love and care at the apex by remaining within the brother-sister role of engagement. For this to be possible, the practitioner must have a solid base and be in fully integrity with it. Then a healing dynamic is possible by empowering the client to develop her own base and awareness of sensory inflow so that she has a fully informed neurological understanding of her bodily experience. Before an interaction on a professional level, intentional agreements are made to clearly define the brother-sister role of pure play. So no matter how emotional, informational, or intensive, even when there is a contact to the genitals, whether during a massage, pleasure, edging, or a de-armoring session, both choose and agree to encounter whatever is desired or is appropriate in the session being offered, except for intercourse and exchange of bodily fluids. So that was a short reading today. That was the 3 components of pleasure in a practitioner dynamic. And you find here the next video, the zone in the zones. Thank you for hanging in. Please like and subscribe to get the notification of the next reading if you haven't done so. Please put questions, comments, and anything, statements in the section below. I will personally answer them. If you like to read the book by yourself because you think I suck or it's too much, I don't know, whatever, you want to have the information firsthand, you find the link to Amazon as a tiny URL, and as well to my webpage, where you can download the book as a PDF or as an EPUB, and then you share that with whomever you want to. There's a 50% special on that. All right, see you at the next reading when we talk about the zone in the zone. Thanks for hanging in and enjoy your day. Love yourself. Bye-bye.